I'll say for me, it's out of when you're in the beginning stages of learning the Arabic language, you need to learn it from the best teacher I ever had was, and he was like, "Ya Sheikh, you know Arabic." I would say, and it's very difficult for me to decide, but I feel like a lot of people ask me who are the best teachers when it comes to the Arabic language, right? And it's not a straightforward answer, but in this video, I'll just talk about my experience with different Arabic teachers, right? First of all, I would say that Egyptians, they have the most experience when it comes to teaching non-native speakers of the Arabic language, right? Does that mean they're the best teachers? Let's see. When I got accepted into Qur'an University in Saudi Arabia, Mecca, I had already built a foundation in the Arabic language. So I was already able to construct sentences. That's why I'm so big on learning online, because I did it myself. And if anyone's interested, links in the description, you can look at the program we have for you. Anyhow, I remember landing in Mecca. I'll never forget this. I met a brother, he's called Abdul Malik. And he picked me up. And in those days, I remember in Saudi Arabia, in those days, there were speed cameras, but not as many. So he was speeding around in his, Audi S something. I'm not good with cars. Audi S8 or S7 or one of those cars, right? So he's picked me up, we're speeding around. He's taking me everywhere I need to go. Obviously, when I landed, I was speaking to him in English. And then something happened where I got into some encounter with someone there, and I started speaking Arabic. And he was like, "Ya Sheikh, you know Arabic?" I was like, "Yeah, I learned in the UK a little bit." You know, and those times I was actually playing my level down, and I didn't realize that my level was actually really good, because I was just in the motions of just studying in the UK. So he got shocked, and from then on, he just kept speaking to me in Arabic. And the whole day, he's just speaking to me in Arabic. So anyway, he's taken me to the admin department where, you register, you register, you tell them I've arrived and everything, and you have to go through all the procedures of getting your residency card and all these different things. I think I had to do a medical form at the time. But anyway, so the first teacher I actually met was a Sudani teacher. And I love Sudani teachers. They're always funny, they're always cracking jokes, they're just good teachers. So I remember he actually tested my level there and then. And he said, "Oh, you can go into, I think, al-mustawa thani or thalith. There's four levels. You do 2 levels each year, so you do 2 years in the program." And he said, "You can go to like the 3rd level, either 2nd or 3rd." And I said, "No, I want to go to the beginning. I want to go right to the beginning." Because I didn't want to, at that time, I just wanted to make sure I'm leaving no gaps. And I wanted extra exposure and everything. So I started right from the beginning again. And in that institute, the main nationalities were Egyptians and Sudanese. I'm trying to think. We did have some Saudi teachers, but they weren't teaching us Arabic. They were teaching us more like fiqh in the Arabic language, right? And some like aqidah, like theology in the Arabic language. But the actual Arabic lessons were either Egyptians or Sudanese. I quickly realized them speaking a dialect sometimes would interrupt. So in Sudan, for example, they don't say qaf. They say qaf like a ghain, so they say ra, ghal. So sometimes like the Sudani teachers, that would happen. I remember one teacher, he was actually doing some type of imla, where they say a word and you have to write it down. And he was making, I'm not going to call it mistakes, but it's just like a slip of the tongue, right? It's a slip of the tongue. Because of the dialect. But anyway, I quickly realized like this, their dialects can influence them in Fusha. Anyway, cut long story short. So in my first years of studying, I was actually exposed to 3 main nationalities. Like I mentioned, Egyptian, Sudani, and we had some Saudi teachers as well. I would say, and it's very difficult for me to decide, but I feel like Egyptians just slightly win. Slightly. And what stood out for me with the Egyptian teachers is their ability to really break down the language. And I'm not saying other teachers can't. They're just so used to teaching non-native speakers, and really, like I remember one teacher, he just really had the ability to make you understand Arabic in Arabic. So once you get to a certain level, the way he'll explain words in Arabic, you'll end up understanding, which is a very important concept when you're learning the Arabic language. But then I still have other teachers, like some of the Sudani teachers that still stand out till today. Like they're still in my mind till today. The way that, like, their humor when they teach, their presence, just that overall usloob. Like I had a teacher who was teaching us imla. Till today, what he taught us is still in my head. I still remember how to put hamza. When do you put hamza on a waw? When do you put hamza on a ya? When do you put hamza on a nabira? They call it nabira. Till today, I still remember. Just due to his ability, just due to his knowledge and his ability to simplify things. So I would say Egyptians. I can't say Egyptians win. Like I'll say Egyptians, if they do win, just slightly. But I'll say for me, it's out of Egyptians and Sudani teachers. For me, that's my experience. And obviously I'm going to sound super biased because they're the only teachers that actually taught me, really. And some Saudi teachers as well. But I would say something very important, that when it comes to actually learning the grammar, the best teacher I ever had was an Indian teacher who spoke English. The best teacher I ever had. And that was online as well. And pre-recorded videos. He was hands down the best, right? I learned online. I was in the UK at the time, and he actually passed away recently, rahimahullah, Ustad Asif. For me, he was one of the best when it came to explaining the grammar. He didn't go deep into advanced grammar. There's still grammar after that, but he was able to break down concepts in a very simple way. Still one of the best teachers, I feel, and I really believe that when you're in the beginning stages of learning the Arabic language, you need to learn it from those who speak your native language, because they're able to make it make sense. They're able to do comparative studies between your native language and Arabic. Okay, in Arabic, they bring the adjective after the noun, meaning if we say, in English, we say black car, but in Arabic, we say car black. We say that is car black. Obviously, it sounds weird in English, but in Arabic, it makes sense. They're able to make you understand that and notice that and say, and you're like, okay, that's strange. And then they're able to break this down. Whereas someone who's Arabi, he's never thought of that as an issue unless he's got extensive experience teaching non-native students, right? So in summary, I know I kind of went round in circles. In summary, I would say in the beginning stages of your journey, someone who speaks your native language. For me, the number one teacher for me was an Indian teacher. But once you get to intermediate level, you now need teachers who speak the native language. For me, it was Egyptians and Sudani teachers. For someone else, they may have had a teacher from another country. But for me, in my experience, I had an Indian teacher who helped me to understand grammar properly. And then after that, I had Egyptian and Sudani teachers who helped me get to the next level. And yeah, that's my experience. And if you're interested in starting your Arabic journey and stop thinking about what's the best teacher to go to, you got a teacher in front of you that knows you, knows the journey ahead of you, has done it, gone from A to Z. Myself as a revert to Al-Islam, then we got the number one solution for you in the description box. Just click the link and check out how we can help you, inshallah. Until then, see you in the next video. Barakallahu feekum.